Hello and welcome back to the channel Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. If you're wondering what we're doing this month, we're looking at Animalistic August. Now it is a Tuesday as well, so it's Tubi Tuesday. These will be ending. My last Tubi Tuesday for a little while will be coming up next week, so stick around for that. But this week we are looking at Day of the Animals from 1977. Now, if you watch any of my previous clips, videos, whatever, you'll know I do have a fondness for 70s sci-fi horror. Now, let's get into this and see what I thought of it. Now, before I do get into it, I do want to say a big thank you to all my new and existing subscribers. Again, I cannot say it, it truly means the world to me that you're joining me on this journey, watching me ramble on about these movies that I enjoy. Or do I? Let's see. Anyway, this film was directed by William Girdler. It stars Christopher George, Leslie Nielsen, Linda Day George, Michael and Sarah, if I pronounce that right, and many, many more. Now, I will be discussing plot specifics and there will be spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen this one, this is available on Tubi for free, so go check it out. A battle for survival ensues after a group of hikers encounter chemically imbalanced forest animals. There's a bit more to it than that, and one of the things that I did enjoy about this to start with was its introduction. The way it introduces the reasoning behind it, what's happening to the animals, the causes, and I will go into that in a little bit. So the premise is undoubtedly intriguing and revolving around a group of characters who find themselves stranded in the wilderness as animals, driven mad by the thinning ozone layer, begin attacking humans indiscriminately. The concept serves as a metaphor and a cautionary tale about the consequences of human actions on the environment. However, the film's actual structure is a bit muddled and the plot takes far too long to gain momentum. Great kickoff, but then it just drops the ball a little bit. Okay, let's talk about the cast. Now, the cast of this one, surprisingly spot on. Now, if you take one of the leads, Leslie Nielsen, we all know Leslie Nielsen. He is a funny guy. We know him from things like The Naked Gun, Dracula, Dead and Loving It, Airplane. I'm trying to think what other ones he's been in, but he's been in heaps and he's always a really funny guy. Really, he seems like a nice guy. In this, he plays an advertising executive who's about as likable as a porcupine in a sleeping bag. Yeah, he's a prick, is what I'm saying. Absolute prick. He is pretty much just one of those scumbag, racist dicks, essentially. His macho persona clashes with the seasoned hiker who's played by Christopher George, and it adds a touch of charm to it, like they kind of combat each other, verbal sparring in a way. So I do enjoy that, and the way they play off each other is really good. However, overall, the character development is rather shallow, and most of the individual characters themselves do fit into predictable archetypes, or whatever you call it, such as, you got the tough guy, hysterical woman, and the seasoned guy. Of course, you've got the possible love interest, the hero of the day, all those stereotypical characters come into play, and there's nothing really new about them. Now, the directing and writing. Look, the film attempts at an environmental allegory are about as subtle as a sledgehammer. It starts out really good and it tells you that. It does not leave you guessing as to what the cause is. Like, it's ozone layer thinning, making animals go crazy, they're fucking shit up. That's basically what it is. And look, the heavy-handedness of this symbolism does detract from any sense of nuance or intellectual engagement in it. because you already know that there's no discovery about it. It is interesting to see how it comes about, but the film fails to trust its audience to grasp the underlying message without resorting to this ham-fisted tactic of ramming it down your throat. One of the film's most significant shortcomings, however, is the pacing. The first half of the film is bogged down by repetitive animal attacks and the characters' unconvincing attempts at survival. As the film progresses, the escalation of danger becomes more predictable and the tension is undermined by a lack of character development. You just don't care for some of these characters. There is one character who he is taking his wife, they're a married couple, they're going through a tough time, whatever, and on the way down, she gets attacked and killed and falls off a cliff, whatever, spoilers. He continues on and he gets to this river and he's falling and he's like all messed up, like, oh, whatever. But then he sees a young girl across the stream and like for the rest of the film he's using her as pretty much a walking stick. Like, dude, if she can make it through, you can too. Toughen up is what I'm saying. Like it really shit me off, that guy. He was just, yeah. I did not like that character. I will pop his character up here if I can find a photo of him. He pissed me off a lot. Now the climax of the film, when the surviving characters attempt to reach town, it feels rushed and underwhelming. And it just fails to deliver on a satisfying payoff after a long build-up. Now the effects. For a film that relies heavily on the portrayal of animal attacks, the special effects are minimal. They are good though. I do like the use of real animals. And that's one of the things I do like about the 70s, 80s. They did use, there was no CGI, so they couldn't. They had to use real animals. And I get that there's probably things with animal, rights and whatnot, but these were done really well. And the animals looked good. You see glimpses of a bear going behind some bushes and whatnot. And, it's a real bear, so it looks good. There's a mountain lion or a coup, I don't know what it is, but it just the sleekness of it looks fantastic. Yeah, so those things are good. Now, you will find yourself grinning as the eagles start swooping, raccoons turn into thieves, and dogs and cats kind of turn into carnivorous, alliance to defeat the humans. But the film's audacious attempts to create tension and horror and are endearing, but they're not effective. The camera angles and sound effects amplifying the animal growls, the ominous music cues really would put, would make Hitchcock proud, to be honest. I did really enjoy that, and it kind of harkens back to The Birds, like, a lot of tension in that, a lot of building that wasn't in this, but anyway, I don't even know where I'm going with that thought. Look, the cinematography in this film, which is part of the directing as well, and I know I discussed that earlier, but I really enjoyed the way the sunlight glinted through, or the camera effect of it's kind of like lens flare, but actual lens flare, and it actually made sense because of the reasoning behind what was causing this. I don't know what you call it, but it's that glaring effect. It gives you that feeling of heat, of that extreme heat which the characters are complaining about. So it does help enhance the atmosphere, and it does really look amazing. The actual setting, this looks great. Rewatchability. Now this is a tough one because I love my 70s sci-fi, my 70s horror, my 70s apocalypse films, and this had the potential to be there with them. Unfortunately, it just fails to hit the right points to really grab you in and make you want to watch it again and again. That's me anyway. I do enjoy a lot about this film, but it's just not one that I will go back. It's not like it's the Omega Man, which I love. Soylent Green, again, love that film. Yeah, this one just doesn't have that same feel to it. So overall, look, Day of the Animals, it did have a lot of potential to be a thought-provoking and thrilling exploration of environmental issues through the horror genre. However, its lackluster execution, including weak writing, heavy-handed symbolism, inconsistent performances, and ultimately it just results in a film that fails to leave a lasting impact. It might hold a nostalgic charm for fans of vintage B-movies, but from a critical standpoint, Day of the Animals falls short on achieving its lofty ambitions. So overall, Day of the Animals, for me, gets a 6 out of 10. There you have it. Have you seen this film? What did you think of it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. And of course, subscribe to my channel and hitting that notification bell so that way you're notified every time I do bring out a new video. Now, I did say Tubi Tuesdays will be ending soon. What will be replacing it? Well, you'll have to stick around and find out. And if you hit that notification bell, you'll know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.